What's up, it's Marco, Sage of Soccer, and today we talk about Brenden Aaronson and whether he deserves to start in the national team or not. He's been having a very good start to the Premier League, already scoring a goal for Leeds, was involved in goal involvements before, and he just looks like a very talented player, adapting to the Premier League very well. And this after a great season in Austria where he announced himself to the world with a good performance against Bayern Munich. And the fact that we're having this discussion about a Premier League player is a monument to how far he's come as a soccer nation, and it's a very good problem to have, but it's still a problem. So Brenden Aaronson, he's primarily a 10, though we don't really play with one, so he's an option on either wing or one of our two eights. He'd probably be preferred on the left wing, so he couldn't cut inside, but we have Pulisic on the left already, so don't really want to start him there. I've seen some suggestions of trying him as a false 9, but I don't really think I'd do that over a guy like Tim Weah or Gio Reyna, and it's really only a question because we don't really have that many great strikers right now. So for him going in at the wing, you have Pulisic and Weah there, possibly Gio Reyna. In the midfield, McKennie, Musah, and again, possibly Gio Reyna. So I think Pulisic and McKennie are just kind of undroppable right now. McKennie's probably the best American, and Pulisic is just too good to leave off the field, even if he's not playing or even playing well for Chelsea. Tim Weah has been very impressive for the national team, but he's kind of stagnated at club level, and if he doesn't have a breakout year pretty soon, I'd kind of be worried that he found his level. Gio Reyna, he's arguably the most talented American, and if he's fit, he has to start. But the question is, will he be fit? I think if he can give the team 75 plus minutes, he has to start. But if not, he's a very good impact sub. Then Yunus Musah is kind of interesting because I also see him as a high potential player like Gio Reyna, but I feel like when he plays, he does really show his age. He's still a teenager, he's a very young player, and I think he's got a couple of mistakes in him that would make me want to not have him starting in the World Cup. And I think he's the player that does get the boot from the 11, in my opinion. Though he'd easily play, and I do really like his potential. So right now, I think, given his injury, I'd be starting Brenden Aaronson over Tim Weah at the right wing, and putting Gio Reyna into the midfield. Weah, he has been playing well for the national team, but I think he's probably the least in form at club level of any American. He just hasn't really impacted it's still a top 5 league, but the worst top 5 league in the French Ligue 1, that you really don't want to see that. I think I like Aaronson at right wing. He can press a lot, and the team does kind of overcommit players to one side, so he can affect basically the whole field. I think Weah could still do well coming in off the bench, and honestly, I'd even give him a start at striker. I think I'd probably be experimenting with one of our really good players as a striker instead of trying to fit a new player into the system that will likely just not work out again. So I try Tim Weah as a striker. If that doesn't work out, he seems like he has a very good profile to impact games off the bench. Then Gio Reyna in the midfield, I think that's probably the best decision for the team. Getting him on the ball as much as possible, allowing him to dribble. I wouldn't be opposed to us switching to a 4-2-3-1. I think we should have a while ago. Adams has been looking really good in a 4-2-3-1, and McKennie, he'd definitely do well there, getting a guy in at the 10, like an Aaronson or a Reyna, like either one. Honestly, Jesus Ferreira can play the 10 role pretty well. So I think there's a lot of reasons to, change up the formation, and I think Brenden Aaronson would be a good part of that. I think he's making himself undroppable. He's objectively been a better Premier League player than Christian Pulisic this year, and Pulisic's undroppable. I mean, that's just an opinion of mine, but I'm biased. I'm a Philadelphia Union fan, but I think you definitely see how good Brenden Aaronson has been. The rest of the defense, we got to talk about that, but he does have a lot of energy. He could really help out on the defensive end as well, though Tim Weah's been pretty good at that. That's my opinion. I think that Brenden Aaronson should be a starter, at least the September camp, because Tim Weah is not healthy right now. So yeah, that's all I've talked about right now. Hopefully we do well no matter what, but I think Brenden Aaronson should be a part of it. That's all I've talked about. See you.